Hi friends, welcome to this weekly reading vlog. I'm going to take you along with me this week as I read some of the books on my January TBR. You just saw me grab 3 books off my shelf, so this week I'm going to try to conquer the first one, which is a nonfiction called The Strength in Our Scars. The second one is a fantasy called Heir of Fire. This is the 3rd book in the Throne of Glass series by Sarah J Maas. And then the last one is a romance. I just like to read a bit of romance before bed, something light, something not so heavy. It's called Dr. Grant by Katharina Mora. This is the 2nd book in the Off Limit series. I enjoyed the first one. I think the second one's going to be good as well. So I'm going to take you along with me this week and give you updates as I read, and then also show you bits and pieces of the things we have going on this week. So it is quite dreary outside. The weather, I think, all week is going to be dreary. So perfect reading weather, but also a few other tidbits of life happening. I am going to be making a cookie cake this week as well for a party that I promised I'd be going to. So I'm excited to show you as I make that cake, and then a few other things as well with my boys here. So come along with me. I'll give you updates as the week goes on, but welcome and thanks for watching. Morning friends, I am just cutting some flowers that my boys got me. It's so sweet of them. I love surprise flowers. I think they even smell better than the ones that you expect. That was really sweet of them. But I wanted to give a reading update before I got into my day, and I got busy with the work day and everything else that was happening. As you saw, I did get to do some reading last night. It was quite gloomy out. It was raining. It was a perfect reading weather, and my boys were also busy, so I had the evening to myself. So I was like, here we go, let's jump in. So I started and finished Dr. Grant, which is the 2nd book in the Off Limit series by Katharina Mora. I really enjoyed it. I gave it about a 3.75 4-star. I'll give more details in my monthly wrap up, but for now I'll just share that it is a forbidden romance and it's set on a university campus. Really good, really fast paced, good characters, great plot line. I actually really did enjoy it, and I actually went to go get the 3rd book off my shelves so that I could start that later today as well. But then last night I did leave a little bit of room to get started on Heir of Fire, which is by Sarah J Maas. It's the 3rd book in the Throne of Glass series. It's a big book and I really want to get through it this week. So I was like, okay, I have to make some leeway in it tonight. So I only got through 7 chapters, but as Sarah J Maas does, her books captivate you right from the beginning. I was instantly captivated by Selena and where her adventures were going to go next. It's the 3rd book, and I feel like I'm still just as gripped by it, and the story and the plot line and everything, it just continues to develop. There are more characters being added every chapter. I love it, and I can't wait to dive in a bit more later today if I find some time. There are a few other things going on. I need to jump into my work day and get some of that done, and then also some life things. And then later this week, I'm also baking a cookie cake for the first time. I promised I would take it to a party. I'm going to a big birthday celebration for someone, and I promised I would bring a cookie cake, and I've never made one before, so here's hoping it turns out okay. But I'm going to take you along with me as I bake it and see what comes of it. So I'm excited about that, but I just wanted to give you a reading update for now, and I will catch up with you later. the end of the week, I wanted to give one final reading update before I close this vlog out. This week I managed to read 3 books and about a third of another one. So the first one I read was the one I mentioned earlier in this vlog, which is Dr. Grant. This is the second book in the Off Limits series by Katharina Mora, and then the one I read after that is Professor Aster, which is the third one. So these 2 books are part of the Off Limits series, like I mentioned, and the second one, Dr. Grant, is about a forbidden love. I gave this one about a 3.75, 4-star, and then Professor Aster was closer to a 3-star. That one I didn't enjoy so much. I'll give more details at the end of the month in my monthly wrap-up video, like I mentioned, but for now I'll just say that Dr. Grant was a forbidden love. Like I said, it's set on a college campus. Basically, the owner of the college campus prohibits this doctor from dating his granddaughter. That's the only girl that he can't date, and of course it's the one that he wants. So the story is about them overcoming those obstacles to be together. And then the third book, Professor Aster, is about 2 people who meet on a random night out, and they don't exchange phone numbers after their night together, and many years pass, and then they are reunited again through different circumstances. And of course they, you know, have this attraction towards each other, but because of complications in life they can't actually be together. That one was a little bit too insta love for me, so I didn't rate it as highly as the other ones, but still an interesting plot and still interesting characters. So I overall still really like the Off Limits series. There's one book left which I want to get to next week. It's called Bittersweet Memories, and I think that's everyone's favorite, so I'm really excited about that one. The third book I completed this week was The Strength in Our Scars. This is the nonfiction I wanted to get to this week, and oh my goodness, 5 stars. Such a great book. It has some quotes and short stories and paragraphs and, you know, kind of quick hit inspirational like moments where it really gets you to think about the things that you've been through and how you've overcome them. It's a great book for someone who is looking to pick themselves up and get back on, you know, the wheel of life and get inspired again. It's also really targeted towards if you have been heartbroken recently, if someone has left you that you've loved, and if you are still in the season of waiting for a big love. It's a lot about self-care and self-love, and also how, you know, those things don't define us. They help shape who we are, but you know, you can still also thrive and pick yourself up and, you know, continue to reinvent new versions of yourself. Seriously, a great book, 5 stars. I'll give more details in my wrap up, but I would highly recommend it. Such a great book. And then I got through about a third of Heir of Fire. Like I said, it's such a big book. It's gonna take me some time to get through, but I'm hoping I can finish it next week. Loving it so far. It's a Sarah J. Maas book. I can't tell you too much because it'll give it away what's going on in the first and second book. So because it's the third book, I can't give too many details, but it's Selena, the main character, who's an assassin going on all these different adventures throughout the kingdom. She's, you know, hired to kill a bunch of people, not randoms, but a bunch of people that the king has motive to kill, and it's her uncovering her past and how all these things tie together. A lot of magical elements, a lot of great characters, different types of magical creatures, really great world building, and it just continues to develop more and more as the books progress. So I'm excited about finishing that one next week, but a really great reading week overall. I'm excited to see what books I'll dive into next week, but for now, thank you for watching, and I'll catch you next time.